Hello and welcome back to WOR Season 13 on Xbox. Once again then in Tier 4 for what is the 8th round of the season then, and our second race in this tier. And well, yep, good news then that we do get to race again then today, as well. Obviously we're still a reserve. And yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to be racing. It was quite late when I did find out that there was a spot free. It was only about an hour before that the space became available, but that's all good because that's often pretty much how much practice I put in before the race anyway. And I had done a little bit of work on setups earlier on in the week just in case, so yeah, we didn't really lose anything from finding out that late. But yeah, I was just glad to be yeah, in the car then, having a chance to race again then this week, and we'll hopefully then get a good result, try and get some more points on the board, because obviously we're a long way down in the standings, and something like 26th I think going into this race. So yeah, I want to try and move up into a bit more of a respectable position then. Obviously this race last season we were agonisingly close to a win when we were racing in tier 5. It all came down to this final corner then, when we were side by side with Slapburst, and then yeah, just that run to the line, the checkered flag was just a few metres too soon there, and yeah, we couldn't quite do it. We qualified 12th then in the end. We were 10th initially there, so yeah, we dropped down to 12th then. So yeah, it's going to take quite a bit of work then if we're going to win today then, or trying for the win, but we'll see what we can do. As yeah, RP1 Adam then was on pole position, and yeah, we'll see what we can do then, run 12th on the grid. It's race day here at the Italian Grand Prix, and we're just moments away then from getting the 8th round of this season underway at the fastest circuit on the F1 calendar. And it's looking, well, it's looking a bit overcast at the moment, but yeah, it's only light cloud at the moment then. So yeah, we're hoping no rain to play a part then in this race, as we're taking a look then at the track now. Quite a long circuit, but obviously a lot of it is flat out, so yeah, it's one of the shorter ones in terms of lap time then, and there are 2 DRS zones then, but yeah, a lot of overtaking opportunities with these long straights and heavy braking zones. Down to turn 1, that's always a popular overtaking spot then, and then into turn 2 as well, also potential here for instance as well, so yeah, gonna have to watch out for that as well, but also a potential overtaking opportunity there as well. And then the run to Parabolica, the final corner. Sometimes there can be racing here, as we saw last season then, that epic fight to the checkered flag, which sadly we just about missed out on there. And yeah, in terms of strategy then, well, we're a little bit against the clock there, but we are going to go on the hard tyres then for the start of this race, and yep, hope for a safety car or a good time later on in the race, and then go over to the medium tyres for a quick stint near the end. So yeah, hopefully that'll work out in our favour there. Obviously I imagine some people will be starting on mediums instead, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. We've once again got a warm-up lap then. We're not meant to apparently. I don't know what the issue exactly is with it, but there's still some kind of glitch with the warm-up lap apparently, so yeah, we weren't actually meant to have one, but yeah, we've got one then, as we are coming to the grid now then, and yeah, we'll see what we can do then from 12th place. On the hard tyres then, a few people around us have gone for the medium, so they'll probably have a much better start than we will, but hopefully our launch won't be too bad then, as we get our parking just right this time, and we've got the lights coming on now. And we are away here then in Monza, and yeah, as I predicted, not the best start then, although it looks like we've had a better one than Steve on the row in front of us there. On the run towards the first corner, we're going to be on the inside line here then, and just wasn't quite confident enough on the brakes there, which is a bit of a shame because we ended up getting a little bit boxed in there and losing a couple more positions I think. And then actually coming out of turn 2 there, a big snap of oversteer, and that allows Aiden then to get through. It looks like Sargento is also going to get through as well then, and drop us down another place then, but out of Curva Grande, and there's been an instant there in the middle of the, well, in the middle of the straight there. So come out of Curva Grande as Sargento there almost loses it with a bit of contact with Aiden there, and now we've got Callum looking at us into the first Lesmo, and up the inside, we're scooping side by side, but we're trying to hang on here, but with the inside line here into the second Lesmo, yeah, he was always going to get through there then, and yeah, that drops us back down then to 15th, so yeah, it's not been a great start for us, especially as there were 2 people that crashed up in front of us. I really just don't know how that happened there, but yeah, they just crashed in the middle of Curve Grande, which is just flat out, pretty much a straight, and yeah, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, we gained a few places then, and yeah, having said that, they were still down 15th, so yeah, it wasn't a good start then. There's been instant points as well then. Tomino is out of the race there then, behind us, and that is going to bring out a virtual safety car, I believe. Yep. So yeah, that's going to neutralise things then at the end of this first lap, as we see a replay then of that start, and yep, it wasn't very good for us then on the hard tyres. Those who went on the mediums then had a much better launch, much better getaway there. And if we just had a little bit more confidence on the brakes, we could have maybe not lost as much ground there then, because we could have got the inside of Steve there and given ourselves a bit more space to work with. And then that adds in to just let the rears there going side by side with Aiden, unfortunately, and that cost us that position. We're back racing in on lap 2, and Varane is off into the gravel there then in the first Lesmo, so that's a place gained for us then, up into 14th. And now skipping on to lap 4 then, where we're still in this 14th position, and we're dropping back a little bit then, which isn't too good here, because we want to really stay in that DRS train then up in front, and yeah, stick with those cars that I think running in the points, and I think that train goes all the way into the points there, so we'd want to be trying to stay on the back of him here then, but we're just losing a little bit of ground here, and now Rossi then is going to have a good run then towards the first corner then, up the inside, and yeah, Flying Rossi then goes through and up into 14th as Sargento loses it there, then coming out of the corner, so we end up still in 14th place then after all. I think there's a bit of a collision there with them and Callum there, because it looks like Callum's also dropped back a little bit then as we approach the second chicane, but yeah, we are still then in 14th position. We couldn't look at the other Williams there then into the chicane. And then up in front of us on lap 6 here, there's yet another incident up in front of us there. GC was involved with it, and I think the car in front of him, which I think was Aiden there in the Alfa Romeo. So yeah, that's bunched everything up once again then, as we are looking at the two Williams here then into the second chicane, but we're not quite close enough then. Once again, just not confident enough on the brakes as well then, unfortunately, and yeah, we're just going to have to stay put for the time being. And yeah, it's a bit frustrating because we need to try and make some ground if we can, because yeah, we're only in 14th, and yeah, we're not going to get anything yeah, sat down here then in 14th, as Callum there actually crashes coming out of the second Lesmo, so that could well be a safety car here then. It's a bit early for us to be pitting, so it's not really the ideal time, but yeah, we've got a safety car then, and yeah, as I said, this isn't really the time where we want to be pitting, because we can't really go on the mediums to the end from here, I don't think, but if anyone has started on mediums, then this is a good time for them to pit and go over to hard tyres and take those to the end of the race. So yeah, it's good for anyone who's on that strategy then. We can see Avs Fan and Sargento behind us then, who are surely going to be doing that. Yeah, they're behind us then. Yeah, GC's in, Levy, Nicholas Wolf's in, so I think all of those must have been on that strategy then, still on the medium tyres, and that moves us up all the way up into 8th position then, so into the points now, but possibly at a disadvantage on strategy, but we'll be hoping that another safety car comes later on, and we'll have a chance then to have a free pit stop then onto the mediums and have the better tyres then going to the end of the race. As we're getting ready for this restart then in 8th position, and yeah, we're just waiting for the race here to drop the hammer then, which understandably they're waiting quite a while because they don't want that everyone to slipstream them, but yeah, we've been caught out by that then. Once again, just having no tyre temperature and just lit the rear tyres up once again then. Wolf was straight past us there, and now Nikolai's looking at us then, and so is Taylor then into the first corner, and both of them have gone through then and dropped us down into 11th position there then. So that's quite frustrating because we got up into the points and then just immediately just lost it again. I mean, it seems to be a bit of a weak point at the moment for me with on this game, just restarts and, well, the race starts. So yeah, I need to try and work on those a bit more, because yeah, we've lost at least 3 positions on both of them so far, as Steve has gone off there, so we have at least got ourselves back up into the points here then, with Steve going off there then. But yeah, that is something we need to work on for sure there then. We skip to yeah, a bit later on then, and we are still on the back of this group then. They're running the points, but yeah, we're under pressure from more of those cars that pitted earlier then. Levy's now putting us under pressure then into Parabolica, and it looks like Rani outside, he's going to have the move done then, but actually goes a little bit deep there, and on this inside line. We have managed to retake position then and hang on to this final point for the time being then. And yeah, we'll see if we can stay ahead then, but once again then he's got to go around now then down the pit straight towards the first corner. We're just going to stay on the racing line here then and try and get a go run through the corner and then get the inside line for turn 2, and it's actually managed to work for us there then, and we are still holding on then to this position despite quite a lot of pressure from behind at the moment then. But yeah, we're doing just about enough then as we get to the end of the lap then, and well, it's now Steve then who's up into 11th place, who's going to be putting the pressure on us. We've got DRS, but obviously all those cars behind us are also going to have DRS as well then, so yeah, we'll still have a good chance then down the down towards the first corner here. Steve's at the inside. We'll try and do what we did last time then and just keep that inside line for turn 2. Hasn't quite worked as well this time then, and we didn't get the best run, and now Levy there has got a great run as well and overtaken us there, and he's also looking at Steve as well, so looks like he might gain 2 positions as we lose 2 positions, but not quite there looks like. And yeah, just going to tuck in behind Steve there then, and yeah, you're the one who lost out then, drop it down into 12th place with yeah, GC just behind then on the medium tyres, which I'm assuming they're trying to take the end because I'm pretty sure they pitted before. But yeah, let's replay then. We tried to do what we did before there then, go around the outside of turn 1 and yeah, get the inside line for turn 2, but didn't quite work out that way this time then. So we skipped just a few corners then, following Steve and Levy then through a Sky chicane, and Steve's actually lost it there on the exit into the barrier and is out of the race. And well, this would be a good time for a safety car if it was to come out, and indeed it has then. So yeah, this is perfect then for everyone who's still on hard tyres then, including us, because we can now go to medium tyres to the end of this race and yep, take those the distance then. They should go from here. I mean, it is half distance, but obviously we are under safety cars, so we'll be able to preserve them for a few more laps as well. So yeah, we shouldn't have any concerns, I don't think, with taking these to the end from here. And yeah, we'll see the pit lane now very busy then with cars coming in to change their tyres. We're also going to drop to near the back again, but obviously we should hopefully have a tyre advantage on some of those cars that pitted earlier for the hard tyres then. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to make up some ground now then, even if we are surrounded by a lot of cars that have done the same as us here then. So yeah, we'll just have to see how things play out then, I guess, and yeah, just see if we can try and make up some ground then. So we're down in 15th position then, which is where we're going to be then for this restart, and yeah, we'll see then how things go. Hopefully this time will be a little bit better than how we went on the previous restart then. And yeah, we are now back underway then with a little bit of a gap in front of us then, but also not under massive pressure from behind either. So yeah, this might actually be quite a quiet restart then, as we're heading down towards the first corner, and yeah, we're just not really close enough there to make any moves on Aiden there. GC wasn't close enough behind either to really challenge us, and yeah, this was actually a pretty calm restart compared to obviously a race start and the previous race restart from the first safety car. But it's actually next time around then where things start to really kick off then, almost 4 wide there up in front of us. Ended up being, looked like 3 wide there then. Flying Rossi there again, squeezed out a little bit on the exit of turn 2. And that might actually give us a good run here then through Curva Grande now, then down towards the second chicane here then, as it doesn't look like we're going to be quite close enough then. My straight line speed didn't seem to be super great in this race, I noticed, but anyway, we're still in behind Rossi then, who didn't have the best run out of that chicane, but we couldn't quite make most of it there because we were sort of on not really an ideal line there coming out the corner, so yeah, we couldn't quite make most of that one there then. Skipping on to lap 19 now then, where it's all still very close then. We're still very much in this train of cars now then, as Av's Fun then is defending from Rossi then down in towards the first corner. And it looks like Rossi's gone through, and yeah, Av's Fun then, I think one of those cars that start on mediums and is sort of starting to struggle a bit now then, having pitted for the hard tyres earlier, so we want to try and clear him as quickly as we can here then, as Rossi's already gone through then. So yeah, we want to try and stick with the Williams driver if we can, and yeah, we're going to have to try and get past Av's Fun as quickly as we can here then, I think. But yeah, as I was saying, my straight line speed didn't seem to be that great here. I think it's just a bit of a problem I have with just always needing the car to be a bit stable, as we're trying to make a move here then on Av's Fun then down the straight towards the Ascari, and yeah, you could just see we were using overtake and we've got DRS, but yeah, we just weren't making up enough ground there to try and sweep around the outside. And I think it's just a problem with the fact that I like the car to be quite stable, and I find that the quicker setups are always just way too slidey for me, and I always have to run more rear wing than like ideal for me to be able to actually be confident with the car. And that, unfortunately, on a track like Monza is quite costly because I have to run a little bit higher aero than I would like. We'll see what we can do then. It's been making a move on House Fun then down towards the first corner. He's gone defensive then. GC was looking there as well, and then suddenly we just ended up in the wall here. No front wing now then. Finger Boy's going through there. House Fun's gone off down the escape road somewhere. And what on earth was that all about then? We were making a move on House Fun. We had GC just behind us as well then, who was also looking to overtake. And I just had a nice clear road there on the racing line, and then just suddenly car just comes flying at me from the side there. We'll see it again then. GC's making the move, and yeah, we just get completely wiped out then in their collision. I mean, to me it looked like GC was going for a gap that wasn't really there. It's hard to tell though. Asvan was certainly covering that inside line. I wouldn't say aggressively, but I think just yeah, didn't leave a whole lot of room there. But I mean, if there wasn't a car alongside, then you don't need to, and I think possibly GC was going into a gap that was never really there, to be honest. So it's hard to tell, but yeah, either way then we've lost out. And to make matters worse, I actually lost force feedback in my wheel coming back to the pit lane, so I was having to reset that now then as well in the pit stop, and that was losing me time here then because the pit stop was done and I couldn't leave the pit box there, so we've lost even more time and all that then. And yeah, we're down in 17th place now then with 7 laps to go. We're half a lap off the well, most of the field here then, and well, we certainly need another safety car now then if we're going to get anything from this race. And yeah, we'll just have to hope that one comes out. And at the end of the lap, GC is out of the race then. That is going to bring out a yellow flag and a virtual safety car, and in fact it becomes a full safety car then almost straight away there then. So yeah, we have possibly been saved here then. We're a long way behind the field, so yeah, I couldn't actually risk pitting there because I wasn't sure if I'd actually be able to catch up to the field or not before the safety car came in. But I mean, either way, our tyres are still pretty fresh here then. Some of the cars that pitted are going to have slightly fresher tyres than us, so yeah, we won't be at, well, we won't have an advantage at all really, except for those cars probably further up the field then that have decided to stay out, if anyone has. But yeah, we're back on the field then at least, so we've got a chance of getting something here once again then. So yeah, we're back racing then with 3 laps to go, and let's just see now then if we can actually salvage something from this race then. Down in 16th place out of 16 still remaining, and it's going to be 15th then straight away here then because Finger Boy just gone straight on there then in the first chicane there. So yeah, that gains us a place then, and we'll see now then if we can make any more ground up then in these final 3 laps, and yeah, get something from what has been a mess of a race so far then. As well, I mean, it wasn't a mess before that crash, to be fair, not for me anyway, but it was a bit of a mess overall then. As yeah, we skip on to lap 26 then, where again we just don't really seem to have enough pace at this point, but into the chicane then it's all kicked off here. Then there's 3 cars off the road, possibly 4 in fact, as yeah, we're up into 11th place then, but now we've had an illegal overtake on Levy there, who was recovering to the track when I when I overtook him there, so that seems a bit harsh there. I think I probably should have just carried on with that and then protested it later, to be fair, because I don't think I really would have deserved a penalty for that. As yeah, we got back past Aiden, but then he overtook us there then, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Finger Boy's already caught back up to us as well then, but with a 3-second penalty now then. I think from that corner cut, I'm not sure, but yeah, in 13th place and with a lap to go, and well, there's as we come around the final corner now then, there's been another incident here then. There's 2 cars that have gone off in the pit lane there. Liam's out, and I think it was Sargento as well there. They've crashed in the pit entrance here then on the final lap of the race. I mean, just what is going on here? As yeah, we're looking at Aiden then into the first corner. We weren't quite close enough, but he's actually gone deep there and gone over the chicane, so that's going to give us a chance now then to move up then into 10th position. We are in the points, and as it stands, we've got Avspan with a 15-second penalty up the road in front of us then, and yeah, well, we've not got his position yet then. Fingerboy's making the move, but yeah, he's got a 3-second penalty, so that might not matter, as he's going quite defensive here then towards the first Lesmo. We're up the inside, and we don't really get enough space, I don't think, because yeah, you need a car's width and a bit, to be fair, if you're going to go side by side there. And yeah, we only really had car's width, maybe a bit less there, but we got away with it at least. And we've now got DRS then to get the move done then up into Ascari and move us back up into 10th place then, and it looks like we are going to score some points then today, at least. I mean, there's going to be just a mountain of stewards inquiries, I know there were, but whatever happens then, it looks like we're going to finish in the points here then, so we're going to get some points on the board. How many we don't know, but out of the final corner then, and it looks like we crossed line then, and it is going to be some points then. It's 10th place, we actually moved up to 8th there, I noticed, with yeah, some time penalties added on there, but yeah, as I say, a lot of stewards inquiries to come, so that is a very provisional 8th position there then, as Liam got driver of the day. He was one of those cars that was in the pit wall at the beginning of the final lap there, so I think that says all about this race, to be honest, as it was Nikolai then in the AlphaTauri that won the race. So yeah, well done to them for the win, and BRT Wolf then on the podium for a second race run then in 2nd place, and then I think it's Adam in the Aston Martin there in 3rd place. So yeah, they were the ones that managed to pick their way through all the carnage then, and yeah, find themselves in the top 3 of this race, so yeah, well done to them for that. But yeah, just a mess of a race then. Yeah, it says a lot that tier 5 was cleaner than this, and that's meant to be like a lower tier. But yeah, this wasn't the best race, driving standards wise, and yeah, there's confirmation of the final results. We've seen Nikolai, Wolf, Adam with the top 3, and then it was Gary going 4th, Slapbus, Furious, Levy, then yeah, we were 8th, Aiden and Fingerboy. But there actually been a ton of stewards inquiries and all that that came after this. So Varane actually had 10 seconds removed, Avsfan had 15 seconds removed, so with those we actually did end up moving back down to 10th place in the end. But still, as I said, I was just glad to have like crossed the line in like 10th place, so I knew that I was going to definitely have scored a point. It wasn't points in the end, but we at least did get something for a race. So yeah, I expected it when I moved up to 8th at the end there that there were going to be quite a lot of stewards inquiries going on, and yeah, just with the amount of incidents that happened as well, that yeah, it wasn't going to stay that way. Obviously, we were never going to be in trouble for anything that we did. We got caught up in the incident with Avsfan and GC, which actually ended up going down as a racing incident because they didn't have GC's perspective of that. But I would be quite interested to have seen his perspective, to be honest, because as I mentioned, it did look like he could have possibly been driving into a gap that wasn't really there, and that was sort of what triggered the whole thing. I'd have been more annoyed about it if, you know, there hadn't been that safety car at the end that had given us a chance to get back into it, because yeah, that certainly did give us, you know, one final shot at it, and we managed to take it, I guess, then, and score some points, about 8 points. I do kind of wish that I had just stayed ahead of Levy at that 1 point and just protested the penalty later, because I think that's what one of Avsfan's penalties were that they had removed. So I could possibly have beaten them on track, and then that would have been another place game for me there. But still, can't worry about that now. We got a point, which it didn't look like we were going to get at, well, a lot of points were in that race, to be fair, but certainly not after that crash. So yeah, got to be happy with that then. As in the championship standings then, we have moved all the way up then to 24th position there. So yeah, still a long way down, and I don't think we're going to win the championship this season, to be fair, but obviously we knew that. Furious then still leads the way with 44 points then to Slapbus, ahead of Adam and then Callum in 4th. So yeah, that is it then for this race. Hope you enjoyed it, despite some of the carnage that went on there. And yeah, if you did, appreciate a like on the video, and I'll see you next time then, where we will be racing at the Spanish Grand Prix. And yeah, we will definitely be racing in that, I can guarantee you that, because at the time of recording, we've already done it. So yeah, I'll see you for that one then.